And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 118 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate. This is my wife, Alexis.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. Buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
And we will happily drink them.
Yes, we will. You can also head to hansonsonhiatus.com. You can visit the merch store there. We got lots of, when is Father's Day? Is it this
Sunday?
Yes.
You guys got a couple of days. Better late than never.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten them anything yet, there's tons of funny dad joke tees, guitar tees, all sorts of stuff.
Yes, yeah. So head there, hansonsonhiatus.com. You can also get the links to all the podcasts on Spotify and YouTube. We got the video cast. If you are listening on a different platform, that's where you can find the links. And you can also be a monthly fucky supporter. For $1 a month, you can be a little fucky. For $5 a month, you can be a medium fucky. And for $10 a month, you can be a big old fucky.
We appreciate all our fuckies.
We do. And I want to thank some of our fuckies. Jose, Sydney, Luis, Manny, Spandex Thor, Brian P., Antonio, Chrissy, Christina, Stephanie, Kimberly, and Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. We love all our fuckies.
We appreciate all of you.
And again, if you'd like your business to sponsor one of our episodes or a couple of our episodes, shoot us a message. I'm at DigiDudeNate on Instagram, or you can message us on our Hansons on Hiatus on Instagram.
Yes.
And we can work something out, and we'll run a little commercial for you. So let us know. But like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
We be there.
We be everywhere. Let's see. From the last episode, got a couple comments. Let's see here. We have, I believe it was Christina. She said, "I love the new intro for Alexis's Airbnb horror stories. Y'all should
a good one.
y'all should do some type of puggy baby shower and welcome your new addition to the home."
Oh my goodness, Christina, you must have, I don't know, telepathy, something.
Yeah.
Our friend just asked us, when are we going to have the baby shower, the puppy shower for the baby puppy? So it's in the works. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, and if you do want to get the puppy some, I don't think we'll have a registry or anything, but if you want to buy the new pug some virtual beers,
Yes.
we will turn that into real dog food.
Puppy treats.
Yeah, or a puppy outfit or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I don't know. And then our other comment was, cerveza, yo quiero cerveza.
Jose?
Yeah, it's from Jose. Beer, I want beer. Me too.
That's
Me
Nate's
too.
motto.
Yes, it is Friday. Oh, shoot. Well, let's see. What else is new this week? I started a new job.
Yes, you did.
Another little side hustle.
Yes.
Working for a company that does consulting for businesses, and I'm basically doing their websites and graphic design and videos and everything. So yeah, if anybody needs a website or wants somebody to do some IT work for them, let me know. And I'll see how much time I have.
It's a really nice gig. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. And I feel like a lot of people don't know, even though your nickname's DigiDude Nate, they don't know what you do or build websites or all these different things. And we're like, yeah, where do you think all these videos come from? He's making them all. He's creating them. He's building these websites.
Right.
So,
yeah. So yeah, if you need anything done, let me know. But I'm sure I'm gonna be a little busy right now. We got a couple jobs going, right?
Why not?
Yeah. So let's see. This past week, pretty uneventful. No,
Oh
okay.
my
I'm
gosh.
just kidding.
Eventful? I should ask you. Eventful? Uneventful?
Yeah.
Super eventful.
Well, it was funny. Last week, we went. I think was it the last weekend? Yeah, maybe it was last Friday. We went to go see the Pug Puppies again.
Yep. We go and see him at least once a week.
Yeah. We're like those adoptive parents, and
Yes.
we go and you just check in on them.
Checking in.
Yeah,
Seeing how you doing.
You're waiting for them to. I think is July 18th is we can take our pug home.
That is going to be our official take-home date, July 18th. We just found that out, too. So excited. I can't wait. Hurry up, July.
Right. But while we were there, we were at our friend's place, and we met one of their friends, and it was, what was her name? Sophie.
Sophie,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
We always meet good people with these people. Good friends, good friends.
Yeah, exactly. So she's a travel agent, and we started talking to her. I guess I don't know if she listens to the podcast or just follows us on social media or something, but they said she knew us.
Yeah, somehow. We're like, oh, hey.
Yeah. But we were, she's a travel agent, and I consider myself a amateur travel agent for myself.
You are my travel agent.
Yeah, there you go. But I was telling her about how we're going to Monterey, next month for my birthday, and how we found flights that were, like $82 round trip out of Merida, and
Yeah.
they're like 188 or 190 out of Cancun.
Ridiculous.
So I was like, yeah, we're doing this, and we're taking the bus over. We're gonna have some good beers. We're staying the night, or whatever. And she looked at me. She's like, so you're doing all that to save $100?
Oh.
And I was like, well, 200 technically, because it's for both of us,
Yeah.
so we're each saving $100. And then she was saying, oh, I fly first class. I get the upgrades, and talking about when she's there, she gets all the best foods and everything. And I don't know. I always have this debate with people, and I can completely get it, especially if you have the money to do these things, and if you're in that type of industry.
Yes,
But
that's what it is, the industry.
to me, it just doesn't make sense, like, to spend this extra money for, like, and depending on how long the flight is. I mean, if you're going international, I guess I can kind of understand that. But just to be like, have a couple extra inches here and there for your 2-hour flight or something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
me personally, I would rather spend that money when I get there. I think I've talked about this before, but $200, what can we do in wherever we're going, Monterey? What could we do for $200 there that would, not, I just don't feel like it's worth it to be like, oh, well, I had the extended room, so I'm going to spend an extra $200. I want to do some fucking fun shit with that $200.
We are definitely budget friendly travelers. If I was like her and had the travel agent hookup and my own single, income that I could spend, I would totally not take a bus, a plane, and whatever or bus, car, all these things to get to my plane. I
Right,
would
yeah.
totally do the same thing.
Well, and then if you're in that industry, like, they get a lot of free perks. They're getting invited to, like,
course.
these resorts that they get to stay in for free and everything. So, I mean, I guess I can do that, or I can understand that, but,
You missed your calling. You really should have been a travel agent
I know, but it sounds kind of
or
miserable.
a flight attendant.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it sounds kind of miserable sometimes, though, because it's like when shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
it's like you gotta like scramble and figure out, how do we rebook them, or how do we change hotels because they didn't like this one. And it just seems like you deal with like maybe some not great, great attitudes sometimes.
Right. Especially if you're a flight attendant. I wouldn't want to. I know she's a travel agent, but if you were a flight attendant, I wouldn't want to deal with people nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody seems a little cranky.
Yeah, but the pugs are doing great. Their eyes are open.
Yes, their
They're
eyes
starting
are
to squirm
open.
around a little bit more. Before they were just doing little army crawls around,
Yeah.
but I think they're starting to be able to push up their bodies a little
They are
bit.
pushing, they are kicking. I couldn't even hold little Hansito because he was so strong. He's just like, let me go,
Yeah, he's, like,
flopping around like a
squirming.
little fish.
But when do I'm so like I've never had a puppy before.
Yeah.
When do you have to get their shots, and what's the other thing? And get them neutered.
When I got Tiger at like between 8-10 weeks, he already had all his first rounds of shots. So then it was my turn to go. I think I just went in straight for a checkup. Like once I got him that week, I went in for a checkup and tell me all the things to do. I don't know. I know it's sooner than later that you get them neutered or spayed because when they're younger, they have less pain and less complications. So I know it wasn't too far. It wasn't like close to when I got him, but maybe when he was like a year old. I don't know. We
Well,
should
for
probably look
neutered?
this up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder why you wait so long.
I don't know. I mean, you don't want to do it when they're little babies. Let them develop and everything. you
Oh,
know?
really? I don't know. I feel like you would, because I mean, you get them you don't wait till they're like 5 to get them circumcised.
True.
So I don't know. I would figure the shots. I don't know either. You think you'd want to get those as soon as possible as well, because you want to get them protected from any diseases or whatever that they could get as a baby.
It said spay or neutering is recommended between 6 and 12 months of age, as long as their overall health is okay. Waiting 12 to 18 months, just growing. That's what it is. Just let them develop to their little,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, maybe it's hard
potential.
to snip their little snippies or whatever. If they're
Maybe, yeah.
if they're tiny, it's probably hard.
I mean, you see his little peenie right now. You can't even see it.
Yeah, I thought it was a belly button.
It looks like a belly button. We're like, are you a girl or a boy? Oh my god.
Yeah. So we went over and saw the pugs, and did that whole thing, play with them a little bit. One of them peed on you, I think, didn't he?
Peed right on me because Penelope, the mom, came over, and did we talk about this? How she cleans them all the time because they don't go potty at she like eats their potty.
Yeah, I guess. No, I don't think we talked about that. But
we didn't know that.
Yeah, I did not know that either. And then, so I'm over there with Petunia or Penelope, and she's like licking my face. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Thank you.
Wish I would have known that first.
Baby poops and pees. So yeah, she came over, starts licking the puppy, and then he just starts peeing all over me. I'm like, well, there we go. So that was fun.
Yeah. But then after we were, checking out the pugs, we were up at Juan and Julieta's pool, just enjoying the pool, the rooftop, the hot tub, and all four of us were in the hot tub. And all of a sudden, this fucking rap music just starts blaring. And, I love rap, but we couldn't even hear each other talk.
Yeah.
And then this older woman gets in the hot tub and tells us her name is Mama T. Just moved into the building.
Lucky.
And she was an interesting character.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, she kind of boxed us into the hot tub, right?
She was, I think she boxed another couple in, and then once we got in the hot tub, she came right over to us and was like, let me tell you my life story.
Yeah, I mean, she was talking about hooking up with dudes and
like half her age.
Yeah, going to the gay bar. She had like a rule: nobody younger than her youngest son. I'm like, how old's your youngest son? First of all, and she was vibing, man. There was a weird interaction where every time, I mean, like rap music just blaring, but she's talking to us, and in the middle of like a sentence, she would just start going, who, you, and just start fucking rapping like, bitch, what?
Hilarious. Just out of nowhere every time. Yeah, she would be telling us a story and then just bust into the song. As soon as she would hear like a lyric or whatever, she would be screaming in our face.
It reminded me like on 40-Year-Old Virgin when she was like, I told her mother what? Let's get some fucking French toast.
French toast. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, but those are pretty interesting. She was a weird character.
Quite the character, quite the stories. Like, wow, I was trying to listen to her stories, but she would kind of forget what she was talking about, then go back to the rap song, then come back to us, and I'm just like, okay, you're killing me.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an interesting evening. I think eventually one of the people we were with asked her if she could turn the music down because we couldn't hear each other speak.
Yeah, we really couldn't. I heard her music originally, and I was like, wow, I didn't know they played music up here because usually it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And then she's kept turning it up.
Oh, shoot. But also this weekend, we had some listeners in town, Adam and Heather. They were long time. They were back from the Die Hard days and the Two Peers, and then now the Fuckies. They've been longtime listeners and now new friends.
I love it.
And they were here for their anniversary, and so we're like giving them the full Mexico experience. So the first thing we had them do is the water went out, the electricity, and the elevator. Not all at the same time, but I'm like,
and the internet had some problems there. We're like, welcome to Mexico.
Yeah.
We're so sorry.
Yeah, that's not normal. It just happened to be like all in the same week. We're like, oh no, I feel so bad.
They've been great sports. They're awesome. I love making friends from listeners because some of our really good friends in Atlanta, started off as listeners. So they're really cool people. We've had a blast with them.
Yeah. So we, what did we do? One of the days we went to Isla Mujeres.
Yep.
And went up took the bus up, took the taxi over, then ferried over to the island.
Yeah.
And then we went to our favorite spot where we just kind of hang out and drink and snorkel and jump off the dock and swim and everything. And
so fun. I think we wore him out that day.
Yeah, I think so. But you were saying some fucking Frenchies stole our chair.
For some reason, French people love to bother me. I don't know why. I don't, Yeah, you guys were swimming. And I'm like, I'm going to go back, order us another round of beers, check and see if our food that we ordered came yet. And I get back and our shit's moved because Adam was saying like, hey, I hope our stuff's okay. We're like, no, the servers watch. We piled it under the table. Everything's good. They moved our shit. And our chair is gone. Adam's chair was gone. And I'm just looking at them because they had 6 people around. I'm like, where's our chair? Looking at, they don't understand what I'm saying. I'm like, the chair, where is the chair? So then finally our server came over and I was like, we're going to need another chair for lunch. And he gave him a look too and was like, I'll get you another one.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, in what world would you think that would be normal? Like, if you like, so the situation is it's a little dock area and everybody, you have a table and your chairs. Everybody has all their stuff sitting on the chairs or on their table and towels hanging over and everything. If I came in, like we got a table. Well, first we did get a table and only had 2 chairs.
Yeah.
It didn't even cross my mind to be like, oh, this table where everybody's probably in the water swimming, but they're sitting here. Let me go steal their chair.
Because you're a common sense person.
Yeah, it's like so fucking rude. And then we were snorkeling, and what did you? Oh, there was a lady. Was it a lady that took it, or the husband or the son?
It's like a family.
Yeah.
I think the mom.
Yeah, Asian family.
One of the kids brought a conch shell up, and the mom was like, "Ooh, look at this," and I'm just like, you can't do that. And they didn't speak English, which is fine. The dad spoke English. And I was like, hey, they'll fine you if they see you taking that out of the ocean. You're not allowed to take those anymore. And he looked at me and goes, well, it's dead. There's no animal in it. And I was like, sure, but another animal could live in it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not, you can't take them anymore. It's overfished or whatever, like too many people have taken conch shells. He just gave me this look. And then the wife asked what was the problem. And he explained. Just like you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I think that's even like kind of common knowledge, even in Florida. Like I know people do take seashells and stuff, but like you're not supposed to. It's like taking rocks from a national park. You're really not supposed to do those types of things.
Yeah.
But
Most of the places we go say wear the eco-friendly sunscreen or none at all, and then don't touch the sea life because we have a very fragile coral reef going around our area.
This is probably a dumb question. I should know the answer to this, but where do seashells come from? Because like a big conch shell like that, who made it?
Crustaceans, right?
Yeah, but how? Like a conch. Who made that shell? Like a conch made that fucking shell?
She made it. No, just kidding. I don't know. Maybe it's a buildup of sea.
I mean, it's obviously
stuff.
created. It's not that. It's not just, a buildup,
Yeah.
like it's created. So like who creates it?
I don't know.
Like a clam. Like does a clam make the fucking clam shell?
Maybe he
I've never seen a clam out there with a fucking hammer, like building a seashell or anything. But yeah, because I'm thinking, it's like the conch shell, like you're not supposed to take it because another animal will move into it, and then that's their new home. Like a hermit crab, they find a different, shell to.
Yeah.
You find it?
It's no.
Do I need to Google it for you?
No, I'm Googling because I said, where are seashells made? Conch shells are formed through a process called biomineralization. Ooh,
that's a good word.
Where the conch snail's mantle secretes calcium carbonate from the water and food it consumes. So he does build his own freaking shell.
So then why would animals need to move into other shells then?
I don't know. Maybe I made that up.
I still don't even believe that though. I mean, I'm sure it's true, but it's like how, so are they on the out, like how are they making the different patterns and the designs?
So the calcium carbonate forms argonite crystals, which are then arranged and layered to create the hard shell structure. This process is similar to how our bodies grow bones and teeth. We should know that. We probably knew that.
I don't know. That sounds like bullshit.
I don't think Google says.
You're not reading the right thing.
I said, how are conch shells made?
I didn't even say conch shells. How are shells made?
Well, I did that. Seashells, and that's what seashells come from crustaceans that live in the ocean. I'm like, yeah, we know that. But next part, how do they make the seashells? But yeah, so I told them not to take it. They still took the conch shell. I saw them walk down the pier, and other people were telling them to not take the conch shell, and they threw it back in the ocean, like right in the shallow end. They were just like, poop.
Yeah. And then the same fucking family. So I'm snorkeling around, and I saw a starfish on the bottom. So I go to get Adam and Heather to show them the starfish, and I come back, and the little Asian kid, I mean, not even little. I mean, this kid's like 16 or 17 or something, has it and in his hand, and he's swimming back up to it to like bring it up.
Oh my
and so
God.
I'm like, hey, like I'm next to him kind of, and I'm like, waving my arms, and then I'm just like splashing him with water, and he's not hearing me. And then I got a little bit too close to him, and since he was swimming, he kicked me, and he kicked my arm. And I scared the shit out of him because I think he's holding some like sea life, and then he feels something on his foot, and he was like, ah!
Good.
And turns around,
like,
yeah,
I'll bite you.
And I was like, and I pointed like down, like put it down.
Yeah.
And then I took my mask off and I was like, you can't take those. Like
Yeah.
you can't even touch those.
You're not
Like
supposed to touch
why
them.
is it so fucking hard for people to like not touch things in the wild? Like it's so weird. Like
it's-
everybody wants to like get a selfie with a fucking bear or
Yeah.
a moose or something like that.
Because they think, it's a Disney animal and they're not going to hurt you. These things can hurt you. And by you touching them, you're hurting them.
Yeah.
The starfish here aren't even like, you think like Little Mermaid, little purple starfish. No, they're big and chunky and spiky. I'm shocked he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I saw some TikTok and it was like they interviewed like all these people that worked at different resorts around the world and said, who are the worst tourists? Because we assume, Americans, we get a bad rap often for being, jackasses in other countries. I mean, rightly so. There are a lot of, but that's not everybody. It's a generalization, of course. But in this survey, the top two were French people and Asian people.
Sorry.
And
sorry, guys.
and not saying anything about it,
Nope.
but what I have seen here makes sense.
Got another French story for you later, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like what the assessment would be is the French people usually are more rude. Like again, generalization, but that's what we've experienced here.
Right.
They can be very rude,
Mhm.
and then the Asian tourists are just not. They just do things that you're not allowed to do. Like, oh, let me jump over this fence and go do this or do that or whatever.
They're like not educated on.
Yeah,
the
and
local-
I get it. You probably if you don't
rules.
speak the language, but it just seems like kind of like common sense. You don't
Yeah.
do things like that. Like I wouldn't go. I mean, I don't even know what's native to like Japan or something like that, like a sea animal. But I wouldn't go there and go to the bottom and
Yeah.
pick it up and go show my fucking family.
Look at
you know?
this.
Yeah. But I saw another TikTok video and it was like there's some springs in Florida where it's like you can't swim there,
Oh.
and there's like an Asian family and they're swimming, and I was like,
God.
"Ugh, you're not helping out the stereotype."
Everyone would help themselves to when you go somewhere new. Just look up the local customs. Look up what's right and what's not. There's lots of signage here. You don't need to speak Spanish. You can see on the sign that says like "Don't touch the
Yeah.
sea life," and they'll have them all listed or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Just pay
there's probably
attention.
cultural differences. Like
For sure.
a lot of people in Asian countries eat a lot of weird fucking sea life,
Yeah.
so they probably don't value it as much as we do because I mean, they also have the culture of like killing fucking whales and
Yeah.
eating whales and stuff.
But when
so.
I literally look at your face and say, "Don't do that. It's illegal. They will fine you money," and you do it again.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever.
Yeah, fucking
I'll pay it.
weird. No, it was like a different person. I mean, same family, but yeah,
Yeah.
different person. Let's see, what else did we do? Yeah, the starfish. Fuck. We went back to El Fogon. We
Yes.
talked about that the other week, where we had one of the waiters kind of scam us when we told him a tip percentage. He backed out of the 20%
Yeah.
and went and put it in his own tip. Like motherfucker.
Owes us a buck.
Yeah. But we went back there. Of course, we get the same waiter.
Of course, we didn't start off with him, but then here comes our buddy. We're like, "Oh, hey!"
Yeah.
I think he recognized you.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, but I didn't say anything to him. I don't think he listens to the podcast.
I
But
think he was like, "Oh, that's that gringo I took for a couple bucks. So he's back."
yeah. But instead, this time I didn't do percentage. I told him the exact amount. Instead of having him figure it out, I was like, no, put this in.
You did.
Yeah, so-
He was shocked. Like, "Whoa, got it."
Yeah. So yeah, it worked out good.
Yeah, it's a learning lesson for us. A small lesson, and going forward, we'll make sure we don't do that again.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and then we also. Well, I did. I took him to Eshkaret the other day because you had to work.
I was working in my neck.
Oh
back
yeah, and your
is
neck's still. Well,
It's getting better. I can look side to side, so that's good.
yeah, so we took him there, and they really wanted to see. Obviously, they got the jaguars there, and then the monkeys. And there's a monkey experience, but then there's also like just fucking wild monkeys in the jungle.
Monkey experience.
So yeah, so we go to the monkey area, and none of them are there. I mean, they're all sleeping in their little huts or whatever because
yeah,
it's hot as shit out.
and nap time.
Yeah, nap time. Go over to the jaguars. Didn't see either of them there. We did see the puma though.
Oh,
He was,
nice.
he was napping in the brush.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, we did not see either of them there. We go back a second time, and the monkey was there. The jaguars and The puma was there. We saw him. But yeah, the jaguars we couldn't see. They were just because they're so camouflaged. So
They really are.
If they're like sleeping in the jungle, and they're kind of, they're nocturnal, but we do see them out during the day.
Yeah. I would think like a jaguar with all those spots, or I always get them mixed up. The puma, which one has the spots?
Jaguar.
Jaguar has the spots. The puma doesn't. They both, you got a black one and then a thing. Oh, shoot. I'm just shocked that you can't see them. In the brush because everything's green and whatever. You think they would stand out, but no.
No, yeah. So so we didn't see him there when we went back, but then when we were walking through the jungle to go to like the riverboat ride or whatever, they had we looked up and we didn't know at first because the big ass iguanas, they climb the trees too.
They do. Yeah. You're like, what is that? Don't fall on me.
So anytime like we go by anything, I'm like looking and hear like something rustling in the bushes. Yeah. I like looking up and trying to see. It was like mostly it was the iguanas, but then we looked up and there was 2 monkeys fucking sitting in the tree, and they had remember the baby monkeys we saw a couple weeks ago? They were like a little bit older now, and they're swinging through the trees. And so like the older one would go doom doom doom, and it would swing,
cute.
And then the younger one would be like, whee, like fucking coming in hot.
I'm learning. Woo.
Yeah.
So cute. I'm so glad they got to see him.
Yeah. And then when we were doing the river float, we were coming out, we're going through the mangroves, and the coati, the little like raccoon looking guys with the snout.
Yeah.
We saw a couple of them going up over the mangroves, like we did that one time.
Yeah.
And
while you're floating under
them?
them?
While we're floating under them. And the coatis were this big.
Oh, the babies.
They were like little kittens. And there was tons of them. There was probably like 6 or 7 little baby ones. And we saw an older one go across, and then the little baby ones, and they're kind of playing around and stuff. And then the mom comes along, and you could tell she's like, all right, let's go. Like, get them along, kind of move along. And
so cute. Were they making their little squeaks? Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yeah, they were. And they looked right at us, and they're like, doing their little squeaks.
Like, what do we do?
But then we had this conversation. So, obviously, that mother bear mentality or whatever. Do you think because we were talking about how crazy it is, how young they were, and they didn't fall into the fucking water.
Yeah.
They would not be able to get out. So do you think if one of the coati babies fell in the water, would the mother go and try to save it, knowing, and let's say she knew that she wouldn't make it, like they're both going to drown because they couldn't get out. Would the mother go and try to save it and not think about the other babies, or would she realize I need to be around for the other babies? I have to let this one go.
I don't know. Sometimes you see both ways. Like we had those little raccoons and the mom raccoon out in that storm the one night, and the one little raccoon couldn't get up. She was with all the other babies, and then finally, once they were safe, she came back around and got the other one that was stuck in the water. So I think it's like the herd first, and then we'll go back for the straggler.
Right. I was just thinking, like, are they intelligent enough to know, like, I'm probably going to die here too? Should I not go save this one baby so I will be around to take care of the other ones?
And what if it fell like near you guys and you help it? Is she going to go crazy, be mad at you?
I feel like that's like an old wives' tale thing where, like, you think about the baby birds. You know, your parents always said, don't touch them. They can smell, humans on them. And then they weren't, like, is that a real thing? Would they really be like, oh, he's touched a human, I'm going to abandon my baby? Yeah,
you smell like Nate now. Bye.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. I don't know if, I don't know. Like, I think maybe they tried to. Well, we were also thinking about that too because we saw the raccoon enclosure. Where they have like the little moat around it.
Yeah.
And we saw a lizard fall in there and it couldn't get out either side. And we're like, well, that lizard's probably going to fucking drown.
He's going to drown now unless the raccoons help him.
Yeah, but I don't think the raccoons will get in there either.
No.
So, so we were thinking about that. We're like, well, would the mother go in to save, the lizard if it had a chance? Even though knowing like, oh, I can't get back out of here.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
It's like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to some Airbnb horror stories.
Broken glasses, poop in the bed, missing doorknob. You know it's time for Airbnb horror stories.
You need to laugh at them.
Yeah, I should have put that in there. I'll try to find one.
The poop in the bed. That's great.
I mean, that happened.
It did. It did happen. And they didn't have kids.
Yeah, that's weird.
My story this week is We're French people.
Mm-hmm.
No offense. But it was three younger dudes. I'd say they're probably like in their 20s.
Okay.
So we're always on guard when we see younger people come, especially a group of them. So everything's fine. They seem polite. They seem wonderful. And then my boss is usually up before me at like the butt crack of dawn. And when I wake up, I see all these messages from like 5, 6 in the morning telling them we're going to cut the power if you don't be quiet.
Oh,
What's
shit.
going on? This needs to stop. They were throwing, like, as my boss says, quote unquote, a rager after I guess they must have come home from the clubs or
Yeah,
whatever
it's
they
Tulum.
were doing.
Yeah, nightclubs.
They're outside. And again, our property is like a quad of homes. So they're not right on top of each other. But if you're playing loud music and being super loud at 5 a.m, your neighbor's going to hear you because everyone else is being quiet.
Right.
So send this huge noise complaint, like this needs to stop. They finally reply, one of the guys. So the reservation's in one guy's name, but then the other guy replies. The other two guys, they're like, we're so sorry, we'll stop, blah, blah, blah. And then we actually sent one of our maintenance guys over in case they didn't shut up when we were asking them to. And he goes over there and sees the pool patio area is destroyed.
Wait, is this the next day or that night?
That morning.
Oh, that morning.
Everybody's
oh, yeah, it's
coming
5
to work.
in the morning.
Yeah, 5 a.m, 6 a.m. Our guys are already there. You know, he's like, hey, can you go check on these guys? They won't shut the fuck up.
Oh,
We're
shit.
going to have to turn off the power if they don't reply.
Right.
They replied. But he went and peeked anyway for us. And there's just shit everywhere. Cans, wrappers, glass bottles right beside the pool. Just stuff spilled everywhere. They brought all the patio furniture from upstairs, downstairs, random shit. You know, you're having a party. That's fine. But
Right.
you would think it'd be common sense that you see, oh, my neighbors are right there, probably going to get called on or something's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not smart about it. So anyway, so they promise, you know, hey, we'll be quiet. We're so sorry. We bring the beer and cigarettes and all that stuff that's everywhere to their attention also. And the one guy's answering, and we're like, hey, you know, we're not interested in talking to you. Where's the guy that the reservation is holding the reservation? We need to talk to him. Finally, he chimes in and says he was sleeping the whole time and didn't hear the noise and didn't know about the mess or anything. Said, I didn't know any of this was going on. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again.
Well,
You believe that?
I don't know. I mean, there's two answers or two options, I think, in my opinion. He either was sleeping, aka he's just passed out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's 5 a.m. If
True.
he's not, I mean, if they're doing drugs and he's not or something and he's just drunk, I can totally see him sleeping through that.
True.
Or he's just lying and he was doing that and he was a part of it and he was just trying to distance himself from what was going on.
True. That's
Yeah.
smart. I
But
think
yeah.
either.
Yeah, either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, people in your place were doing it. It doesn't matter if you're aware of it or not.
Yeah, everyone heard them, and then come to find out they had a bunch of guests over too. So they literally brought the bar back to our house. They
Oh
brought
my
the party
God.
back, and we're partying at 5 a.m. Which, oh my God, that's so crazy. I just can't believe, that you would think that'd be okay. Whatever. So then the next day, we get a message from one of the other guys, not the main guy that has the reservation. He goes, hey, the pool's kind of gross. Can you guys come clean it? And then my boss again's like, yeah, because you guys were throwing a rager last night.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's disgusting. We'll get to it when, as soon as we can today. Clean the whole pool, this and that. Complains again that it still looks cloudy. And we're like, are you this mother?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me
Well,
right
and
now?
didn't you guys ask to clean it previously? Like you said,
did.
like, hey, you guys have been here a couple days. Why don't we come in and do some pool maintenance? And they said no, right?
Yeah, our pool team comes like pretty much every other day to check all the pools. So we were like, hey, our pool team's coming around, and they're like, hey, we were planning on being in the pool all day today. Can they come tomorrow? So we were like, sure, no problem. 2:45 that day, and we had asked him at like I think 10 a.m.
Yeah.
2:45 that day. He's like, okay, the pool's dirty now. Can you come clean it right now? We're like, no.
No.
You got to give us a
Yeah.
minute. Well, we're not just on standby to clean your pool. So cleaned it. They check out tomorrow. Bye.
Nice.
Can't
Oh,
wait.
God. Fucking rager.
I know.
Rager.
They've been quiet. Haven't heard anything from him since. So
What was the other story about that girl that the ATV wouldn't start that they rented?
oh yeah, so we had another house, two girls. They no problems. They actually were amazing. They rented ATVs. They got massages from Our Lady. They did an excursion. Fine, everything's been fine. And then they message us in the morning and say, "Hey, our ATV won't start." And we're like, "No problem." Reach out to the vendor. He shows up. Message us, says they flipped the ATV. That's why it won't start. And we're like, what do you mean? How would you know that they flipped the ATV?
And they denied it, right?
They're denying it. They're like, we didn't flip it. He says the reason he knows that they flipped it is because there's a safety switch, like a sensor, that if you do roll it or flip it, it won't let you start, so you don't blow yourself up or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, the gas probably gets all fucked up
you
if
gotta
it's
let
upside
it
down. Yeah.
settle and whatever. There's process to it. So you have to have the master key to restart it. And the mirror was flopping off and the brake was all dirty. It was obvious they had something. They were like, "Nope, this is how it was when we received it. This is exactly how it was." And he's like, "Nope, let me tell you differently." So then we go back and forth and we're trying to be the nice, middleman. And come to find out, we always tell people, take a video, just like a rental car. Our vendor takes a video or pictures if there's damage. Our guests should do the same thing. Both parties, their phones had issues. Our guest said their phone got smashed at a nightclub, so they couldn't access the video, and they were trying to find it on the cloud. And then our vendor was like, "I also smashed my phone this weekend, and I need to get it replaced," and that's where the video is too as well. So we worked it out. They worked it out amicably, and there was no,
Well, I don't believe either of them.
I know.
I don't think. I think they just were both lying because they didn't take a video or whatever. Because first of all, they were both messaging you on their phones.
Yes.
So who's, and even if the screen was, cracked or whatever, your phone still works and your camera still works.
I know.
I've seen plenty of people with some jank ass iPhone that's
Yeah.
just shattered on the front.
Glass,
and they're still using it. So yeah.
Remember your one friend with the smashed iPhone and his fingers were constantly bleeding?
No, yeah.
'Cause it was cutting him.
Slicing
We're
them
like,
up.
get a new phone or get some gloves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my fun Airbnb this week.
Oh man, that sounds fun.
It was delightful, but they're gone. That's
Yeah.
the best part. It's
Yeah, it's
like
bye.
we dealt with you now bye.
Yeah, at least most of them aren't there for a month or something, or 6 months or whatever.
No.
So you don't have to deal with them if they're bad.
I will
too
say
long.
people that stay there longer are usually quality, better
True.
people.
Yeah.
The people that are only here for 4 days, I'm worried because they're ready
wilding
to
out.
party.
Yeah.
They're ready to get it in, get out.
Yeah. All right, that was good. Some good horror stories. Now we're gonna do a quick getting high with the Hansons.
Get high with the Hansons.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. This question, like I said, this is quick. It's not going to be a super deep question, but do you think crabs think fish are flying?
I'm glad I don't see these before. Do crabs think that fish are flying?
Yes.
Well, crabs probably don't even know what flying is.
Well, in their heads.
Yeah. Well, they probably do because crabs are usually around the rocks and then seagulls come and eat them.
Yeah.
Um,
Because crabs can't swim. I mean, they can, but they're not. They can't swim up to the surface, right?
I think they can. I think they I know they walk,
How
but
would
I
they
think
get-
they also propel themselves.
Yeah, but not that high. I mean, if it's
We gotta-
20 feet deep, they're not. I've never seen a crab swimming through open ocean.
True. We got a lot of Googling to do later
Yeah.
about sea life.
I know, right? Yeah.
I would say no. They don't think because they're swimming, so I think they would know that fish are swimming.
But they can't swim like fish can, as
True.
far as we know. It'd be so they can crawl around on the ground, and I know they can jump off coral and stuff like that, and they kind of float down.
Yeah.
But if they are crawling across the ground and they're looking up and they're seeing all the fish going around, do you
True.
think that their equivalent of what they would think is flying?
My mind goes to the Little Mermaid, the old school Little Mermaid, the 90s Little Mermaid. because Sebastian would kind of swim along with Ariel. He'd hang on to like flounder or something, but you'd also see him kind of like pushing through. So that's that's my sea
It's
life.
Animated.
Education.
And mermaids aren't real. Why would you use that?
Ariel's real.
But what nationality is she?
Oh, God. She's a ginger,
Yeah.
which is also black.
Yeah, that's what we've heard.
Why not?
Yeah. And then also, what do you think? What do you think it feels like to be dry as a wet ant? You know, like something in the ocean, like when the fish like jump out of the water, or
Yeah.
whales or whatever. What do you think it feels like in comparison? As in, we jump in the water, and you know what it feels like to jump in the water.
They probably feel like almost like suffocated, I would think. Because, you see fish when they're on land, they're just like,
Yeah. Well, it's like us jumping in the water. You have to hold your breath. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't breathe.
I would think it feels like when we get really dry skin and you're just like, it itches and tingles
Yeah.
or something. They're the opposite once they,
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking too, like when you swim and you can feel like the water running through your finger, like the resistance,
Yeah.
a little bit. That's probably like their wind.
Yeah.
Like when there's, like somebody can go like this and like push the water at you, and you can feel it even though you're not touching each other. It's like the wind where it's like it's invisible. You can feel it, but you don't know where it's coming from.
Are you high now?
Nah, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
that's what do you think? Do you think they think
I would think so. I would think they would at least question why they're looking up and all these things are like flying around in the air.
True.
And
They're like, I wish I could do that.
yeah, but then they're probably weird because they can get out of the water, and they're like, why can't these flying fish fuckers get out of the water?
True. Yeah, you can't breathe outside of the water. That's
Loser.
weird. That sucks. It sucks to be you.
All right, so that was getting high with the Hansons. Now we're gonna get out of here soon, but we just have to give a little puggy update.
Yes.
I think we have a name. Well, for now, I mean, we still have a few weeks or whatever, so
We have like a month.
It could change. Do we have a month?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much
Oh
a
yeah,
month.
yeah, the 18th. That's right.
Yeah.
So when I was at Xcaret,
Mm-hmm.
where I was looking at the monkey that did come out, and there's a little Mexican girl, and she kept on saying, "Hola, monito, hola, hola, monito," like she was like trying to talk to him, and he was just
Yeah.
looking at her like, "What the fuck are you
What are
talking
you
about?"
saying?
Yeah, and I was just like, I like that. I mean, like I know what monito means, little monkey.
Yeah.
Um,
Mono is monkey.
yeah,
Monito is
yeah.
monkey.
So then I was thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good name." And then it was like, "Well, what could we call it for short or long or whatever?" And then I was thinking Mono, which was the name of the pug when we first moved here, and we first moved into an Airbnb. The owners had a pug named Mono,
Yes.
and it was like Tiger's like first little puggy Mexican friend.
Yeah, he looked Mexican
Yeah.
too.
So then at first I was like, I mean, I love that name, but then I was like, we already know one, but we haven't seen them in like 3 years,
Yeah.
But so I was like, okay, Mono, Monito. And then I was like thinking about other names that we came up with, and one of them was K Monito.
Yes.
And so I messaged you and I said, I know we know a pug named this, but like, how do you feel about Mono and Monito?
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you say?
I said, I think I love it. Well, first you said, Monito, but then you're like going back to our huge list of pug names, K Monito, and you can explain who that is. But I was like, oh, that would go along well with all the 20 other names we're trying to give him.
Yeah.
And, and Hansito. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Monito, Hansito.
Yeah. So K Monito is a famous Mexican luchador. He's a Mexican wrestler,
Yes.
and he's a midget. He's a little person, and his name is K Monito because when he first came out, and he wears like this blue, like kind of gorilla suit.
It's like
but-
an electric blue.
yeah, it's like
little
blue,
gorilla
and he's like
suit.
red on his stomach. There's actually like a Netflix documentary about him. He's pretty famous. He's from Guadalajara. He's like 57 years old. We saw him in Mexico City wrestle before.
Yes.
But his name is
amazing.
K Monito, and that started from K Monito, QUE, which would be like that little monkey,
Yeah.
and then it kind of morphed into and it can also mean how cute,
Yes.
right? Or no, is that it? Yeah, how cute.
Yeah.
It's like a slang for how cute, I guess.
How cute.
This is what we were reading. But I feel like I really like K Monito because it's spelled KEMONITO.
Yes.
So I don't know. Like, that's what we were looking for. Something with a little Mexican flair, something easy to say and remember, something that's going to, we have a short name for it. His name would be Que Monito. We could call him Monito or just Mono. And he's our little monkey. And a pug kind of looks like this little Mexican wrestler guy.
He does.
Just like a little nugget.
We were fascinated by him the first time we saw him wrestle. And then the second time we were like, yes, he is our favorite. So, and I mean, our one friend here, our neighbor, was talking about themes because her dog's name is Brandy, but before that she had a Bailey's, and then she had Kahlua before that. So they're all like liquor names.
Yeah.
So we had a tiger before, and this time we'll have a little monkey.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's what we're thinking. So let us know what you guys think about Que Monito. And we're trying to like practice different names, like as if you were yelling at your dog or like, hey, like come over here or something like Monito. Mono, like it's easy
Vamos,
to say.
Monito,
yeah,
vamos.
it's not too many syllables or anything, and we could introduce him here as Que Monito, and people will think that's really funny because they'll know who he is. It's like naming him Hulk Hogan or something.
Yes.
Yeah, It'd be
I think
funny.
he should be Que Monito, Charrito, Hansito.
Okay, yeah, he does need 3 names.
Yes, actually, he needs another one. Maybe we throw Koama back in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So so that's what we're thinking. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment. And let's see what we got going on this weekend. We're going to Cozumel. We got a charity event we're going to work, try to make some money for the charity.
Yeah. Check out charitablетourism.com. Our friend Wanda and Carlos that run the charity over in Cozumel. They've been doing this for years, and we're lucky enough to have been a part of it for the last 4 years.
Yeah, 4
or 5 years. So this weekend is like a bazaar where everybody's donations, like JC that moved out, a few of our other friends that left, Renee, a bunch of people that donated to us, just, clothing and
It's a
household
garage sale.
goods. We're going to sell, and then that money will go towards the end of the year or end of the summer event for back to school for the kids.
Yeah,
So
get
we'll
backpacks and shoes,
school
and
supplies,
school book. Yeah,
feminine products,
Pencil
hygiene
boxes.
products, yeah, trapper keepers,
yeah.
all the good stuff.
Yes, yeah. So all right. Well, and then like you said, if you want to donate to there's a link on the website, charitablетourism.com. So you can check that out there. But if you'd like to support our podcast,
Yes.
buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy some virtual beers. If you're enjoying the stories and the information and the good times, or if you just want to support us, we really appreciate any help you can be. Keep this going. Hansonsonhiatus.com has the merch shop where you can buy, different T-shirts, tank tops, hats, mugs, just a little bit of everything. And if there is a design or a funny quote you heard during the show that you want us to put up there, let us know, and Alexis will get that up.
I'm always looking for new ideas. If you're like, you need a Que Monito shirt, which we probably will, that's,
Yeah.
that's, let me know.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.